We're on a 2020 Honda Accord, and right now we're pulling a vacuum, or we're not pulling it no more. I actually have it turned off, so this is valved off. There's no more vacuum, and I'm measuring the vacuum decay. This will tell you how much outgassing of refrigerant is still stuck in the oil, or how much moisture is stuck in the system. As you can see right there, I was down to 120 microns, and then let's get back there. And then as time goes by, we're into 6 minutes, I turned it off at the 3-minute point, roughly almost 3 minutes. And you can see where I turned off the valve and the vacuum rose, and now it's starting to level off. And we're going into approaching the 7-minute point, and it's having these little outbursts. And those little outbursts where you see it jumping like this, those are like steam pockets bursting out, refrigerant buried deep down in the oil bursting out. If you think of bubbling water, just before it bubbles, you see those little bubbles at the bottom of your pot, and you see them down there. And then you have the heat on, and then one bubble bursts out and explodes into steam. That's pressure into the atmosphere. The same thing is happening here. If you could imagine, there's these little, on the surface of the metal where the oil is, there's moisture trapped in the oil and in the pores of there, and it's coming to the surface and bursting out, and it's popping as a steam bubble. And this is what you're measuring. And so I'm letting the product, and it looks like we're decaying off at roughly 800 microns. Now this is the Fieldpiece software that you get with your Fieldpiece manifold and your Fieldpiece scale, and you can have your Fieldpiece micron meter that is separate, that you would have valved off if you wanted to get that. So now I'm ready for charging. I've had my lunch, I've been back. This is as good as it's gonna get on that, and that is pretty good for a car. Here we're going into 8 minutes now, and we're at 811, and as you see, it's pretty damn steady. It's barely moving, and that's what you wanna see. Now, if this went all the way up to like 3,000 and started leveling off somewhere around 3,000, 3,400, something like that, and it just stayed there, that means there's no leak, and it starts steadying out. That means there's still a ton of moisture still inside the system, and you'd have to put it on the vacuum longer, or as with cars, if it was really heavy contaminated. Sometimes they're so bad you cannot remove all the moisture. You got to do the desiccant change. You could do a triple flush with nitrogen purge on really wet, dirty cars. It's just really bad on some of them. So I'm going to go for the recharge now. This is 454 grams or 445 grams, can't remember, about almost exactly 1 pound YF refrigerant. So, all right guys, time to go. And that's long enough to prove that I have no leaks, at least under vacuum. And looking for leaks under vacuum is the worst way to look for leaks. It's the most unreliable way to look for leaks, because you could have absolutely no leaks under vacuum, but leak under pressure. And that's one thing you need to know. See ya.